So with the Heisei era of Kamen Rider coming to a close, and the Reiwa era just around the corner, one question has remained in the minds of many Kamen Rider fans. What is the final form of Kamen Rider OOOs? Hey guys, I'm Rizzy Ranger, and welcome to a new series on my channel where I basically try and figure out the answers to various questions inside the world of Tokusatsu. Today's episode involves the final form of Kamen Rider OOOs. Let's go! Now, before we begin, I should probably tell you guys a little bit of the history of final forms. So, final forms are an idea that are entirely in the Heisei era of Kamen Rider, and possibly the Reiwa era, but at the time of making this video, there's not enough information about that era to make that conclusion. Anyway, the term final form was first used in Kamen Rider Decade in 2009 with the final form ride cards. So, what makes a form a Kamen Rider's final form? Well, there are generally three unofficial official rules to determine this. One is that it has to be arguably that rider's strongest possible form. Two is that it can't be movie exclusive, although this can be broken for secondary and tertiary riders if their final form only exists in a movie. And three, it can't be the base form of another Kamen Rider. Now that you guys know a little bit about the history of final forms and what makes up a final form, what are the forms that are debated to be Kamen Rider OOO's final form? Well, those are the Tajador combo, the Super Tatoba combo, and the Putotyra combo. And in this video, I'm going to discuss them in that order, and I'm going to see which form fits most of or all of the rules for determining final forms. So starting off with the Tajador combo, is it arguably one of OOO's strongest forms? Well, let's look at the stats. And as you can see here, it's got like about a 60 punching power, and I want to say about 120 kicking power, which means it's a pretty strong form. Now, is the Tajador combo movie exclusive? Actually, it appears in episode 20 of Kamen Rider OOOs. If you don't believe me, you can watch OOOs up to that point, and you'll see that that's when it first appears. And is it the base form of another rider? Nope. As with OOOs in general, like the show, there's only like 3 riders, and none of them use the same powers that OOOs does. They all use different powers. So therefore, Tajador would not be the base form of another rider in OOOs. So now moving on to the Super Tatoba combo. Is it arguably one of OOO's strongest forms? Well, let's look at the stats once again. As you can see here, its punching and kicking power isn't as strong as the Tajador combo and the Putotyra combo, as you'll see later on, but it can jump higher and it can move faster than those two combos. Not to mention it can control time, which is a thing pretty much exclusive to this combo. Now, is it movie exclusive? Sadly, yes. The Super Tatoba combo only appears in a movie. It never appears in show. Meaning, it already broke a rule, so therefore it can't necessarily be considered a final form. But there's one more thing we can test. Is it the base form another rider? Well, as I covered with the Tajador combo, there are no other riders that use the same powers as OOOs, so therefore, it's not the base form of another rider, and it fits that criteria pretty well. Now let's move on to the Putotyra combo. Is it arguably OOO's strongest form? Well, let's look at the stats once again. So, as you can see here, it's got a stronger punching and kicking power than the Tajador combo and the Super Tatoba combo, but it can't jump as high as the Super Tatoba combo. But even without the maximum jump, it still is probably arguably OOO's strongest form, besides the fact that it can't control time. Now then, is the Putotyra combo movie exclusive? Nope, it actually appears in episode 33 of OOOs, so you can watch up to that point and you'll see that the Putotyra combo doesn't appear until then. Is it the base form of another rider? Well, as with every other form that I've covered in this video, nope, it's not the base form of another rider because no other riders in OOOs use the same power that Kamen Rider OOOs uses. So, based on the statistics I mentioned before, it would make sense for the Tajador combo and the Putotyra combo to be considered the final forms for Kamen Rider OOOs, as they fit all of the criteria for being a final form. However, there's something I didn't mention yet. Kamen Riders don't just have base forms and final forms, they also have super forms. And the Tajador combo is outnumbered in many ways compared to the Putotyra combo, like punching power, kicking power, jumping power. The Putotyra combo just outnumbers it in lots of ways with that. Not to mention, Tajador appears before Putotyra, making it seem like a super form compared to a final form. But guys, that's just my opinion about what Kamen Rider OOO's final form is. Let me know your opinion about what his final form is down in the comments below. And I'll see ya!